Okay, Techtober continues here on the old little YouTube channel that could. Today's victim is a smartphone. This is the Umidigi Power 5. So this is an incredibly entry-level Android smartphone, and Umidigi sent this to me for review a while ago. I want to say it's been a couple of months now, and I've had some time to think about this phone and what I think about it and entry-level phones in general. And I'm kind of in an interesting place with entry-level phones, especially their cameras, and we'll get to that a little later on in the video. But first, I just want to go over the specs. I've actually got the phone right here. 6.5-inch HD screen. It's 720 by 1600 pixels, so it's only a 720 screen. This phone is $189 in the US. You can get it on Amazon. This is a 128 gig version, so you've got 128 gigs of storage on board. It's got a MediaTek G25 chip on board. It runs Android 11. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. It's got 2 SIM card slots and a memory card slot. It's got a 6150 milliamp hour battery. I was easily getting 2 days of full use out of this phone when I was using it. It's got a 16 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and it says that it has a 5 megapixel macro camera, but the files I was getting out of it were 2 megapixels, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the macro camera. It's definitely 2 megapixels though, unless I'm missing some setting somewhere. The front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel shooter. It's got a big full screen with just a tiny little teardrop notch at the top, so you're getting a nice big bright edge-to-edge display here. I'm not sure what the panel is, whether it's LED or LCD or IPS. I don't think it's IPS, but honestly, it looks good. It looks good for the price. You can definitely tell it's 720 when you have it up beside something that's higher resolution than 720, like my Galaxy S10 here, or even this iPhone XR, I believe, is a higher resolution than 720. Actually, I know it is. But, I mean, for $189, and quite frankly, they go on sale from time to time too, so you might be able to get it for less than that. You're getting a whole lot of phone here for not a lot of money. Now, the MediaTek chip, it's not the fastest thing in the world. It's definitely laggy. Even scrolling, opening apps, launching the web browser, whatever you're doing on this phone, it's not going to be fast. Even, you know, my other two phones here are not flagship phones. Well, the S10 was at some point, I guess, but it's 3 generations old now almost, I think, or yeah, 3 generations ago, and it blows this thing out of the water. But it's 189 bucks. I keep having to remind myself that it's $189. It's got a side mounted fingerprint sensor here. That's the lock and unlock button with a fingerprint sensor built in. Let's do a little fingerprint sensor test here. It's plenty fast. But the button itself, I don't know if you can hear that. It kind of sounds like it's going to fall out of there at some point, but yeah, I don't know. It's got a headphone jack. Headphone jacks are good. USB-C charging. We like USB-C. It comes with a power brick. It comes with a clear plastic case. It comes with a USB-C charger. It comes with a SIM card tool. It comes with a lot of good stuff. The main thing for me when I'm looking for a smartphone, and this may seem like a less important thing to some people, but for me the cameras are incredibly important, because as a photographer and somebody who makes videos like this, I care about camera quality. The video quality on this phone is absolute dog shit. It looks so bad. I'm not even gonna post it. But the cameras in photo mode aren't that bad. And I gotta say, I'm kind of on board with the not over-processed look of these cameras. I have no idea what sensors in here, what camera modules in here. I'm sure you'll find that somewhere else, but generally these phones have one of about 3 or 4 different camera modules. It's either from Sony or Samsung. I don't know which one it is, and I don't really care. All I know is that some of the pictures I took with this phone I really liked, even with that little 2 megapixel macro camera. I got a couple cool shots. You need really specific lighting in order for those shots to be anywhere near good, but the main camera is nice and sharp. It's got good shadow detail. You can edit the photos a little. It doesn't shoot RAW, but I mean, you can still mess around with them a little bit in Lightroom Mobile and they'll work. Lightroom Mobile on this phone is kind of hilarious because it really, really struggles. That is a very power intensive app. Even though like on a modern sort of mid-range to higher end phone, you would have no problem with it whatsoever. On this phone, yeah, it's a struggle for sure. The ultra wide is also quite good. The HDR mode on this thing is awful. It makes everything look like you've put a pastel filter on it. It doesn't look good. It's not, HDR in general is oversaturated, but this is like weirdly pastel-y, gross looking. It looks like a watercolor painting almost, but it's not good. I would avoid using the HDR function on this for sure. The main camera and the ultra wide are very good. The front facing camera, it's not that good, to be honest. It's actually really bad. But the two main sensors that you're going to be using on the back, the ultra wide and the main camera, they're very good for the money. I have to say I'm kind of blown away by it. And I've been on this journey with my own photography this last year and a half, where I'm not chasing the latest and greatest when it comes to cameras. One of my favorite cameras that I've picked up over the last couple of years is this old Fujifilm FinePix S2 Pro. So this is a big, beefy old DSLR. It's 6 megapixels. It's got this weird Fuji diagonal photo sight sensor that interlaces the pixels and makes 12 megapixel photos. I don't know, it's Fuji's always doing weird things with their sensors, like with the X-Trans sensor nowadays, but I love this camera. The files that it puts out in half decent light are gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I get the same sort of feeling from this phone. It's not going to be a rocket ship of a phone. It's going to be slow. The pictures aren't going to be these beautifully ultra sharp, what's the word they all use? Computational photography wonder photos. You know what I mean? It's just a camera, and you sort of just get the results that you would expect from a camera. The camera's doing less of the work for you. And I gotta say, I kind of dig that. So 189 bucks, Umidigi Power 5, all day battery life, big bright screen. Honestly, the value for money here is outstanding. It's not going to blow any other phone away specs wise or speed wise or anything. But if you need a phone for your kid, if you want one to carry around with you at work, say you're a tradesperson or something and you're worried about damaging your fancy phone, you can just throw your SIM card in this thing and take it to work. It's not dust or water resistant in any way, so maybe that second one's not a great idea, but it does come with a case, which, what phone comes with a case these days? None. And a power brick. 189 bucks. Cameras are okay. It's a big phone. I don't know. How can you go wrong? Even if it sucks, it's only 189 bucks. Maybe you smashed your phone and you just need a temporary phone to get you 6 months to the end of your contract so you can upgrade your phone again. Something like this would definitely do the trick, and I think that a phone like this for 189 bucks, I can't get over that number. I really can't. So thanks to Umidigi for sending me this thing. It's actually the second Umidigi phone that is in this house. My daughter has an older Umidigi phone. I was going to give her this one, but she still likes the one she has. I don't remember which one it is she has, but it doesn't matter. Umidigi Power 5, 189 bucks.